Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust, and we are currently partway through a 7-week backpacking trip around Thailand.
When we're doing our research of where to stay, we found it really useful watching other YouTube clips on what the guest houses are like. So in this video, we are reviewing the Pongphen Guesthouse in Kanchanaburi.
So welcome, we are at Pongphen Guesthouse in Kanchanaburi, just a little bit northwest of Bangkok in Thailand.
We made the booking through booking.com, which we've done for most of the places that we've stayed or we are staying at on our trip, and it was really reasonable. It was 1800 Thai baht, which works out at about £41 for 2 nights, and that includes a really good breakfast.
And to be really honest, we didn't know what to expect from this. It looked lovely on the booking.com website, and it actually is lovely. But you have to remember that it is at the budget end of the accommodation scale, so you pay your money and you take your chances, and we think it's definitely worth the chance to come here because we've had a wonderful couple of days.
So because we're backpacking and we're trying to keep to a budget, we did book the cheapest standard room that they offer. It is a little bit tired and it's a little bit dated, but to be fair, I knew that from the photos. I wasn't expecting anything grand, and for the equivalent of £20 a night, I wasn't expecting anything much better, but it actually has surpassed our expectations.
So we're on the 3rd floor and we've got a nice little sort of seating area outside where the breeze blows through. In terms of keeping us cool, the most important thing is the aircon unit, and wow, is the aircon unit efficient here.
It's supposed to have lots of different settings, and it gets the room rapid cold very quickly. At night, it's actually like a fridge, and we do have to keep switching it on and off a little bit because you're either really cold or really hot. But I do like the fact that you can get it really cold really quickly.
I think Jackie's got like a servant at night because there's nothing about the we. I get up every 2 hours because either we are too hot or we are too cold, and I am the automation and the aircon. But for the price, it's amazing. And yesterday we got back from a long, hot, sweaty walk and it chilled the room down amazingly. And after that walk, we were also in desperate need of a shower, which is an obvious segue to Rate My Shower. Welcome to the Pongphen Guesthouse in Kanchanaburi. The first thing you'll notice is it's not a Halloween themed shower, but the unique green glass in the window. There's a huge feeling of space in a simplistic wet room layout. A very simple sink and mirror with towel rail for off-the-floor storage. Don't get this confused with the shower head, it's a Thai staple bidet attachment. A rather archaic shower system that actually works really well despite the age discoloration. This simple system actually offers really good temperature control. A wide and powerful shower head, but it does lack directional control. A very simplistic yet functional drain that works well. A selection of complementary cleaning products, always welcome when backpacking and looking to minimise our carry weight. A rather dated but functional storage shelf. So overall, high scores for space and length of push, but let down by a lack of hooks and the age of the system and drainage. However, you must appreciate that this was ensuite facilities in a £20 a night hotel that includes breakfast for 2 people. What more would you expect? It's perfectly clean and functional, if not the most aesthetically pleasing. An overall score of 38 out of 50 for the Pongphen Guesthouse in Kanchanaburi.
The rest of the hotel room, there is a fridge, so it's nice to come back to nice cold drinks. We've put a bottle of water in the freezer so that we've got a nice cold drink to take on the train with us when we go back to Bangkok today. It's got a little seating area. It's got lots of benches to keep things off the floor. We have had an encounter with one little cockroachy type creature, but I think where we are, that's to be expected. And it's got a safe, which I quite like this one. It's got a double lock on it, so you get a key for 300 bahts deposit, and it's also got a keypad, so there's almost like a double layer of security on it, which just gives us that little sense of everything being left safe while we're out for the day.
We picked this guest house for its location, and it is absolutely ideal. We were coming up on the local train, so from the train station to here, it's somewhere between a 1 and a 2 kilometre walk. It took us about 15-20 minutes, fully loaded up, to get down here, and we got the most wonderful reception. The hotel is located on the river, so you can wander out. It's got a nice seating area that looks over the river, and it actually comes up with some really nice sunsets.
There's a restaurant that's part of the hotel, and we ate here on our first night. I was a little bit surprised, but actually thinking about it, I'm not surprised. They have an extensive menu, and we ordered some Thai food, and I also ordered a pizza. But actually the food is delivered by the little motorbike men, so it must come from one of the street food outlets further up in the town. But it was delicious and it was cheap. And for 90 Thai baht for a large Chang beer between the two of us, it's really good value as well.
And then a cheeky little bonus outside, which we weren't expecting at all, was a swimming pool. A swimming pool included in a £20 a night room. You just cannot go wrong here.
One thing of note at the moment, the hotel next door has got a little bit of a building programme going on next to the pool, but for £20 a night, I'm not going to complain. It didn't affect our stay, it didn't affect how we did anything, we couldn't hear any noise from it, so it didn't bother us.
And talking about a noise, it feels really quiet and calm here. It's lovely in the morning to wake up to the bird song. It feels really peaceful, which is really strange because the main drag road is only probably about 100 yards up the road. And that's quite interesting on a night.
We had an absolutely fantastic meal last night. I think it was called Good Thai Food and Good Beer, something like that. And they weren't wrong. We had a fab meal, and we could try some of the local craft beers, which is just at the top of the road and maybe a 2-minute walk to the right.
But beware, that street is a lively street, and it's got all the usual sort of hubbub of Thai life going on, but it has got quite a few interesting, lively bars. But, you know, that's not our cup of tea, but it's just part of Thai life.
There are a couple of little supermarkets within walking distance. There's a 7-Eleven and a Lotus supermarket, both reasonably priced, both really well stocked, so you can stock up on cold drinks, and we had cheese toasties for lunch, which seems to be a tradition for us now.
There are loads of different options to get to Kanchanaburi from Bangkok. You could get a car transfer, which is quite expensive because it's well over an hour's drive. There are buses, but we decided to go local, and we'd thoroughly recommend the local slow train to you to get up here because it was 100 Thai baht per person, £2.50 for a 2.5 hour beautiful journey.
Yeah, it came up from Bangkok and you could have got off at 2 different stops, one being the actual train stop by the bridge over the River Kwai, and it was just very scenic. It was slow, you had the windows down, so it was nice and cool. Definitely worth it.
And then in terms of why Kanchanaburi as a destination, for me the most important thing was to be able to visit the bridge over the River Kwai. Such a historic and significant place in terms of the Second World War history, and really quite moving in terms of the amount of human sacrifice that has taken place here to make sure that we are all free to live our lives as we do today.
And we had 2 nights here. Perhaps we could have spent a 3rd night because there is a tour or a bus that you can get to the Erewas waterfalls, which are quite famous. There's 7 tiers to them. They look absolutely stunning, but we've run out of time because we've booked a flight tomorrow morning.
So in summary, the Pongphen Guesthouse in Kanchanaburi, £20 a night, absolute value for money.
And the staff are just amazing. They are so friendly. Every time we go down to the bar, they have a really good chat with us. They were interested to know what we're doing and where we've been. Just really good value. We'd come again in a heartbeat.
So a great location, definitely worth looking into if you are coming to this region. But that's it from us, so see you later. Bye.
Bye.